Hi, welcome back to another debriefing. You know the drill. Please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. Okay, I know. I've been there. You look all around a crowded airport, waiting for your connecting flight to find just one unused USB port to top off your phone or your laptop. And the nearest port you find, you practically camp next to it. I know I did one time after a 16-hour flight to JFK from Israel with a 12-hour layover to DFW. That's another story. Well, you really should rethink about plugging your devices into any public charging ports or dedicated stations. According to the FBI, whose Denver field office said this week in an ominous alert urging people not to use public charging stations for their mobile devices because bad actors, not unsurprisingly, have figured out ways to use public USB ports to inject malware and monitoring software onto phones, laptops, tablets, any electronic device that transmits digital data, not just raw electricity to power these devices. It's known as juice hacking, and the Federal Communications Commission, FCC, had published a warning about it in October 2021. Although, after the FBI Denver office's warning this week, the FCC updated its alert yesterday, April 11th. Now, one thing we noticed is that the FCC stated, quote, if you plug your device into a USB port and a prompt appears asking you to select share data or charge only, always select charge only, unquote. The rule of thumb, though, is just plain avoid using free charging stations in airports, clubs, restaurants, coffee shops, shopping centers, and especially hotels, hotel rooms, more so depending on what country you're in, and hotel lobbies. Like the FBI said this week, and the FCC before it had warned, cybercriminals are masterminding ever increasing techniques to basically hijack public USB ports to inject malware and monitoring software onto just about any electronic device that requires these ports to charge them. So, what's your alternative? Easy. Simply buy a good portable charger to carry with you and just plug it into your USB cable or cord or whatever you call it. I'm telling you, avoid using public USB outlets because portable power batteries can hold a lot of electrical energy and they're very inexpensive considering the cost of the alternative if you happen to be a victim of juice jacking. Also, there are plenty of choices when it comes to USB cables that do not have built into them the wire that is used to specifically upload and download digital data, like streaming movies, games, photos, etc., and always conveys just the electric current you need to charge. These cables can safely be used anywhere. Additionally, there are also what are called USB MF adapters that can be used with existing USB cables. Or you can just cut the data wire in one of your own cables. You can find instructions on how to do that on YouTube, of course. However, all that said, there is a caveat regarding these solutions. Yes, they will work to prevent data exfiltration, but to be, quote, safely used anywhere, unquote, not exactly, according to cybersecurity experts we talk to. And the reason is there are versions of USB killer sticks that don't need data wires, just good old fashioned electricity. But here's the kicker about USB killers, which today are widely sold commercially, and the original concept for which was allegedly to assist hardware manufacturers and network administrators to determine how well a digital device could withstand power surges and electrostatic discharges. When plugged in, electricity is taken from a USB port, multiplied, and then discharged into the data lines, typically disabling an unprotected device. High end USB killers have wireless remote and smartphone control. and an internal battery for offline attacks. Some of these USB killers on the market tout that they provide, quote, unstoppable attack modes, unquote. Surprisingly, I have not seen or heard much from the FBI or this FCC regarding these devices. Since its invention, though, hardly any major company really uses them for penetration testing. But like every seemingly good idea, it's grown to be quite popular among cyber criminals. The idea for the device is credited to a Russian computer researcher known as Dark Purple, who allegedly is seen in the video in this report 7 years ago destroying a brand new ThinkPad X60 said to have been bought specifically to demonstrate what the USB Killer 2.0 can do. Then, in 2019, then 27-year-old Vishwanath Akithatha, I butchered his name, an Indian national in the U.S. on a student visa attending the College of St. Rose in upstate New York, used his iPhone to record himself using one of these USB killer thumb drive sticks to destroy 66 computers, 7 computer monitors, and computer enhanced podiums. He pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 12 months in prison, followed by a year of supervised release in order to pay almost 60,000 in restitution. What an idiot. Frankly, these killer USBs, which will be the topic of another video report, are easy to find. We found one on Amazon just the other day called the USB Killer Pro Kit, which, of course, incorporates the statement, quote, it is developed and sold as a testing device only, unquote. And it's only 2 inches by 0.31 by 0.87 inches and weighs 5.6 ounces. As an aside, the Delaware Incorporated company that sells this USB killer received $41,655 in payment protection programs under the COVID packages since forgiven that went for the salaries of 3 employees, according to government records. Just an aside. These are all disturbing revelations and realizations. But the question is, now that you're aware of the USB port hack the FBI and the FCC has warned about, are you going to take precautions? Because now, today, electrical USB sockets can be used to steal, compromise, or even wipe clean your device's hard drive and any attached external storage devices. Lee Neely, a senior IT and security professional at Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory with over 30 years of experience, explained that while, quote, use hacking isn't a new threat, and updates to mobile operating systems now prompt users to trust a USB device, which includes a data connection. In general, carry your own charger. Don't trust unknown USB connections. If you want the convenience, purchase a charge only cable or an inline device which only forwards the power leads, unquote. John Pescatore, Director of Emerging Security Trends at SANS, a cybersecurity organization established in 1989 as a cooperative for information security thought leadership to empower professionals with the practical skills and knowledge they need, said, quote, a charging-only cable, which are prominently labeled as such, can make it safe to use public charging stations while avoiding denial of service due to dead devices. Those cables were popular giveaways at vendor booths a few years ago when this problem first started to happen, unquote. And on a humorous side note, I must repeat something else Pescatore said the other day following the FBI's rather ominous alert, which was, quote, Twitter is not any more trustable than public charging stations, but it seems like that was the only outlet for the FBI Denver to get out its warning, unquote. I also must point out that Pescatore, like his professional peers, knows what the hell he's talking about. He began his career at the National Security Agency, where he designed secure voice systems, and at the Secret Service, where he also engineered secure communications and surveillance systems. William Hugh Murray, who is widely considered one of the true elder statesmen on risk management, information assurance, and security, and one of the founding fathers of best cybersecurity practices, responded the other day to the FBI's alert, saying that no one really any longer needs to travel with a laptop and that the portable chargers for cell phones are now as small as a credit card. He did optimistically say that while some ports may be compromised, most aren't. But depending on where you are, do you still want to take the chance? Now, not all seasoned, veteran cybersecurity professionals expressed as much alarm over the FBI's still rather alarming warning as some have. Dr. Johannes Ulrich is one of them. Dean of Research for SANS Technology Institute and the SANS faculty fellow and founder of the Internet Storm Center, responded to the alert saying, quote, I've always considered this threat a bit overhyped. Yes, this is theoretically possible, but I don't think I have seen it in the wild. On the other hand, I am probably more afraid of badly wired USB chargers exposing the device to 110, 220 volts. And if you carry a charging cable, it isn't that hard to carry a charger. A more real issue is users willingly providing access to their devices from rental cars and other temporary connections. Unquote. Moses Frost, another seasoned security professional with over 15 years in the IT industry, had a similar opinion. He stated, quote, I don't understand this alert. It feels dated, or are we missing information? Recommendation, bring your 110-volt charger with you, mostly because USB-C is not in the wall and you won't get a decent charge anyway. Who is it that uses these things? If I ever see someone using one, I may have to ask. If you are involved with a company planning a retail or shared area layout and this comes up, you should ask, why not just put in power? Unquote. Okay, that does it. I hope you take the advice. As always, my friends, stay well, safe, and frosty out there.